a world that is ever-changing, where noise grows louder and desires pull the mind in countless directions, there is a quiet truth. What you keep close shapes who you become. Not everything deserves a place in your life, and not everything should be kept at a distance. Wisdom lies in knowing the difference. There are 8 sacred things you must hold near, not with your hands, but within your heart and daily living. First, mindfulness. Keep it close like a gentle flame. It illuminates your path, allowing you to see clearly without illusion. When you are mindful, you are awake to each breath, each step, each choice. Second, compassion. Let it live within you. When you carry compassion, anger loses its power. You begin to understand others, not judge them. In compassion, there is great strength. Third, right intention. Guard your intentions carefully. Actions are born from them. A pure intention leads to peaceful outcomes, while careless thoughts bring suffering. Fourth, patience. The world moves quickly, but truth unfolds slowly. Keep patience close, especially in moments of hardship. Like a seed beneath the soil, growth takes time. Fifth, wisdom. Seek it not from noise, but from silence and reflection. Wisdom is not in knowing many things, but in understanding what truly matters. Sixth, gratitude. Hold it in your heart each day. When you are grateful, even the smallest moments become treasures. Gratitude transforms lack into abundance. Seventh, discipline. Without it, even the best intentions fade away. Discipline is the quiet force that keeps you aligned with your path, even when it is difficult. Eighth, inner peace. Protect it above all. Do not trade it for temporary pleasures or fleeting approval. Peace is your true home. Remember, these are not objects you can lose, but qualities you must nurture. The more you keep them close, the less you will be disturbed by the outside world. Walk gently. Speak truthfully. Live with awareness. And in doing so, you will discover that the boundaries you create are not walls, but sacred spaces where your soul can rest and grow. What you keep close shapes your life. Your inner qualities and daily habits define your path more than external circumstances. What you choose to keep close within your life quietly shapes the person you become, moment by moment, breath by breath. It is not the loud events or distant dreams that define you most, but the small, consistent companions you carry in your mind and heart each day. Just as a garden reflects the seeds that are planted and nurtured, your life reflects the thoughts, habits, and values you allow to remain near you. If you keep worry close, it will slowly color your world with fear. If you hold on to anger, it will speak through your words and guide your actions, often without your awareness. In the same way, when you keep clarity, kindness, and awareness near, they begin to guide you gently, shaping your responses and decisions in ways that bring peace rather than conflict. Many people search far and wide for change, believing it lies in new places, new possessions, or new identities. Yet the deeper truth is quieter and simpler. Transformation begins with what you choose not to let go of within yourself. Each thought you return to, each feeling you nurture, each intention you protect becomes a silent architect of your life. Over time, these inner choices become patterns, and these patterns become your character. Your character then shapes your path, influencing how you see the world and how the world responds to you. It is important to understand that not everything deserves closeness. Some thoughts and influences, though familiar, bring unrest and confusion. Holding them close is like carrying a heavy burden up a long path. It drains your energy and clouds your vision. Letting go of such burdens is not a loss, but a quiet act of wisdom. In their place, you create space for what nourishes and strengthens you. When you choose carefully what you keep near, your life begins to move with greater ease. Your reactions become more measured, your mind more steady, and your heart more open. You are less shaken by the changing winds of the world because your foundation is built on what is stable and true. In this way, shaping your life does not require force or struggle, but awareness and gentle discipline. So reflect often on what you are holding close. Not all companions are visible, yet their influence is profound. Choose those that bring clarity over confusion, peace over restlessness, and understanding over judgment. In doing so, you quietly transform not only your own life, but also the way you touch the lives of others. Mindfulness and awareness are essential. Staying present helps you make clear, wise decisions and avoid illusion or confusion. To live with mindfulness and awareness is to truly awaken to the present moment where life is actually unfolding. Many people move through their days as if carried by a current, pulled by habits, distractions, and endless thoughts about the past or future. In this state, actions become automatic, words are spoken without care, and decisions are made without clarity. Yet when awareness is gently brought into each moment, everything begins to change. The ordinary becomes meaningful, and the mind, once restless, begins to settle like still water. Mindfulness is not something distant or difficult to reach. It is simply the act of paying attention fully and without distraction to what is happening right now. It is noticing the breath as it enters and leaves the body, feeling the ground beneath your feet as you walk, and listening deeply when someone speaks. In these simple acts, awareness grows stronger. With practice, this awareness becomes a steady presence, guiding you through both calm and challenging moments. When you are mindful, you begin to see things as they truly are. rather than as your fears or desires imagine them to be. This clarity allows you to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. For example, when anger arises, awareness notices it without immediately acting on it. In that space of noticing, there is freedom, the freedom to choose a response that does not create harm. Without awareness, emotions take control. With awareness, you remain the observer, able to act with understanding and care. Awareness also reveals the patterns of the mind. You begin to notice how certain thoughts repeat, how certain situations trigger discomfort, and how easily the mind drifts away from the present. This is not something to judge, but something to understand. Through this understanding, the grip of these patterns weakens. What once felt overwhelming becomes something you can observe calmly, like clouds passing through the sky. As mindfulness deepens, even simple moments become rich with meaning. Drinking water, sitting in silence, or watching the movement of the day no longer feels empty or rushed. Instead, each moment becomes complete in itself. This brings a quiet sense of contentment, not dependent on external conditions. Living with awareness does not remove challenges from life, but it changes your relationship with them. Difficulties are met with steadiness rather than panic, and uncertainty is faced with openness rather than fear. In this way, mindfulness becomes a source of inner stability, allowing you to move through life with clarity, balance, and a deeper sense of peace. Compassion and patience bring inner strength. Understanding others and remaining calm during difficulties reduces suffering and builds resilience. Right intention is the quiet force that shapes every action, word, and outcome in life. Before a single step is taken or a word is spoken, there is always an intention beneath it, often subtle and unnoticed. This intention acts like a seed. From it, all results grow. When the seed is rooted in clarity, kindness, and sincerity, the fruits that follow carry those same qualities. But when intention is clouded by greed, anger, or selfish desire, even actions that appear good on the surface can lead to unrest and dissatisfaction. To live with right intention is to become aware of this inner starting point. It asks you to pause even briefly and look within before you act. Why am I doing this? What is guiding me in this moment? These questions are simple, yet they reveal much. Often the mind moves quickly, driven by habit or emotion without examining its own motives. In such moments, actions may feel justified, but they can leave behind consequences that disturb both yourself and others. Right intention brings a gentle awareness that slows this process down, creating space for wiser choices. When intention is pure, it carries no hidden harm. It is not driven by the need to prove, to dominate, or to seek constant approval. Instead, it arises from understanding and balance. Actions guided by such intention naturally align with peace, even if the outcome is uncertain. There is a sense of lightness in doing something for the right reasons without attachment to reward or fear of loss. This lightness frees the mind from unnecessary burden. Right intention also requires honesty with oneself. It is easy to disguise harmful motives as something acceptable, to justify impatience as urgency or selfishness as necessity. But true clarity comes from seeing things as they are without distortion. This does not mean judging yourself harshly, but rather observing with sincerity. When you recognize an unwholesome intention, you have the opportunity to gently redirect it. Over time, this practice strengthens awareness and builds a more stable inner foundation. In daily life, right intention influences even the smallest actions. Speaking to someone with respect, choosing patience over irritation, offering help without expecting something in return, these are all expressions of a well-guided intention. Though they may seem small, they shape your character and the environment around you. Others can feel the difference even if nothing is spoken about it. As you continue to cultivate right intention, your actions become more consistent and meaningful. There is less inner conflict because your choices are aligned with your deeper values. The mind becomes clearer, less divided, and more at ease. In this way, right intention serves as a compass, quietly guiding you through life with purpose, integrity, and a growing sense of peace. Discipline and right intention guide your actions. Pure intentions combined with consistent discipline lead to meaningful and peaceful outcomes. Patience is a quiet strength that reveals its true power only over time. In a world that urges you to move faster, achieve sooner, and expect immediate results, patience stands as a gentle reminder that not everything meaningful can be rushed. It teaches you to remain steady when outcomes are uncertain and to trust that growth often happens beneath the surface, unseen and gradual. Without patience, the mind becomes restless, always seeking quick rewards and becoming easily disturbed when things do not unfold as expected. When you keep patience close, you begin to understand the natural rhythm of life. Just as a seed does not become a tree overnight, your efforts, relationships, and personal growth require time and care. Impatience often leads to frustration, causing you to abandon paths that might have led to something meaningful. It clouds judgment and pushes you toward hasty decisions, which can create more difficulties than the ones you are trying to escape. Patience, on the other hand, allows you to stay present with the process, even when progress feels slow. There is also a deep connection between patience and understanding. When you are patient, you give yourself the space to see situations more clearly. Instead of reacting immediately to discomfort or challenge, you pause and observe. In that pause, wisdom has a chance to arise. You begin to notice that many difficulties are temporary and that your initial reaction may not always be the most helpful one. This awareness softens your response, replacing tension with calmness. Patience is especially important in moments of hardship. When life brings challenges, the mind often resists, asking why things are not different. This resistance creates additional suffering. But when patience is present, you learn to sit with the difficulty without being overwhelmed by it. You allow the moment to unfold without forcing it to change instantly. This does not mean you become passive or indifferent, rather. You remain steady and composed while taking thoughtful action when needed. In relationships, patience nurtures understanding and compassion. People grow and change at their own pace, just as you do. Without patience, misunderstandings deepen and conflicts arise quickly. With patience, you listen more carefully, respond more gently, and create space for connection to grow. It becomes easier to accept imperfections, both in others and within yourself. Patience also strengthens discipline. When you are willing to stay committed over time, even when results are not immediate, your efforts begin to bear fruit. This steady dedication builds resilience and confidence, not through sudden success, but through consistent effort. As patience becomes part of your way of living, you find that life feels less rushed and more balanced. You are no longer pulled by the urgency of every passing moment. Instead, you move with a quiet trust, knowing that what is meant to unfold will do so in its own time. In this calm and steady presence, patience becomes not a burden but a source of deep inner peace. Protect your inner peace. Above all, true happiness comes from safeguarding your peace, not chasing temporary pleasures or approval. Wisdom is not something that can be gathered simply by collecting information or repeating what others have said. It grows quietly through reflection, experience, and a deep willingness to see things as they truly are. Many people spend their lives chasing knowledge, filling their minds with endless facts and opinions, yet still feel uncertain and restless within. This is because wisdom is not measured by how much you know, but by how deeply you understand and how clearly you can see the nature of life. To keep wisdom close is to create space for stillness and observation. In silence, the mind begins to settle, and what once seemed complicated starts to reveal its true form. You begin to notice patterns, how certain actions lead to certain outcomes, how attachment brings tension, and how letting go creates ease. These realizations are not forced, they arise naturally when the mind is calm and attentive. Wisdom grows in these quiet moments, not in the noise of constant distraction. One of the qualities of wisdom is discernment, the ability to recognize what truly matters and what does not. Without this clarity, it is easy to become lost in trivial concerns, chasing things that bring only temporary satisfaction. Wisdom helps you step back and see the bigger picture. It reminds you that not every thought deserves your attention and not every desire needs to be fulfilled. This understanding brings a sense of balance, allowing you to focus your energy on what is meaningful and lasting. Wisdom also brings humility. As you begin to understand more deeply, you realize how much there is that cannot be controlled or predicted. This realization softens the ego and reduces the need to always be right or to prove oneself. Instead, there is a quiet openness, a willingness to listen and to learn from every situation. This openness strengthens your connection with others and allows for more genuine and compassionate interactions. In difficult moments, wisdom acts as a steady guide. When emotions rise and the mind becomes unsettled, wisdom gently reminds you to pause and observe. It helps you see beyond immediate reactions and consider the long-term effects of your choices. This does not remove challenges, but it changes how you meet them. With wisdom, you respond rather than react, creating outcomes that are more balanced and thoughtful. Over time, as wisdom deepens, life becomes less confusing and more harmonious. You are no longer pulled strongly by every passing desire or disturbed by every challenge. Instead, there is a quiet confidence in your understanding, a sense that you can navigate life with clarity and grace. In this way, wisdom becomes a light within you, guiding your path not through force but through gentle and steady awareness.